welcome back to an episode of Vass Reacts. We got a video from Undead Humor. Iceman'S powers are stupid. Yes, Bobby Drake powers are stupid, but Bobby Drake is a Omega level mutant. We don't know how. Well, I don't remember how he's an Omega level mutant, but yes, Bobby Drake powers are fucking dumb, but he has a long list of them. And all of a sudden, I like to watch Undead Human because they like to tell me about a bunch of powers that I didn't know a lot of people had. And then people in the comments come and tell me about shit that happens in the comics because I can't keep up with the comics because there's so many iterations of the comic books. I'm spitting. Alright, let's get right into this video, man.
Professor, I have some wonderful news.
Really?
Gene broke up.
Why would that be wonderful?
How about you come to my room later and I'll show you?
You know this is harassment, right, Professor? Why don't you do something?
I was ready to say that, Logan. That is harassment. You can't do that. I don't care if you're a short Canadian at all. That's harassment.
I kind of like keeping him around. Don't have to strain my neck as much when looking at him. Looking to be short.
Do you think he was malnourished as a child?
Well, he did grow up in Canada. I wish I had different friends. Anyway, Professor, you still haven't guessed the news. I'm a telepath, Scott. I know that Bobby's here. Bobby's here! Hey, Iceman, how have you been? Cool as a cucumber, Wolvie. Been keeping it frosty.
For the love of God, please tell me he doesn't speak in puns.
Hey, chill out, Gene. Just breaking the ice. Robert, get the hell out of my house. Come on, Professor. He's not that annoying. Looks like I'm skating on some pretty thin ice. I retract my previous statement. It's not the puns. It's his powers. They're stupid. What do you mean, Professor?
Oh,
I just shoot ice and free stuff. Not that big a deal. You literally defy physics. I would explain it to you if you weren't such a
Well, time to sit in. I think this is my lecture. I'm about to learn more about Iceman and his fucking powers and be stunned about the shit that I didn't know.
bad student. Hey, what's with the cold shoulder? Guys, just how many ice puns are there?
I have
It's
a
a lot.
feeling we're going to find out.
Go ahead,
it's a
Professor.
lot.
Tell me why I make no sense. Try not to get brain freeze, Bobby. Oh, that was ice cold, baby.
Scott, stop encouraging him.
Very well. For starters, you violate the conservation of energy. Creating ice means removing massive amounts of thermal energy, yet you clearly aren't putting the heat anywhere. Hey, Professor, I make ice, not heat. I think you're getting a little mixed up. No, Robert, I'm not. Tell me, do you know how a refrigerator works? Of course I do.
Yes.
Keeps my food chill and the vibes cooler. And you know how it does that? By extracting the heat from your food. It pulls the heat out, carries it through a refrigerant fluid, then dumps it through the coils at the back. If you stand behind a fridge, you can feel the heat that was inside your food.
Right.
Do you often stand behind fridges, Professor? Of course not. I can't stand.
I mean, I used to once. Well, I got put behind a refrigerator. Well, I was playing hide and seek, needed somewhere to hide, and yeah, I was behind the refrigerator. It is hot behind there, though. I'm kind of surprised.
But the point remains, making things colder involves removing thermal energy. And so we return to my question. Where are you putting the heat, Bobby? What do you mean? I just freeze things. To freeze something, you need to extract heat. It involves a transfer of energy. And it's no small amount either. Freezing 100 kilograms of water to make one of your ridiculous ice slides would require 33 million joules. The calculation is a simple one, just the mass of your slide times water's latent heat diffusion. That's the amount of energy needed to convert a kilogram of water to ice.
I've never seen the professor do this much math before.
He must be really angry.
33 megajoules is equivalent.
I was ready to get up and just take my headphones off because where the fuck did this math come from? I'm not built for this right now. The math. The math. The math.
8 grams of TNT. That's twice the energy in a tank shell. 2 tank shells just to make what? Like 10 meters of an ice path? And you're constantly doing that. You should be burning and melting everything around you from the displaced heat.
Now you're thinking of Pyro. He's the one that melts things. I'm Iceman.
Robert, your ability to melt things is much more versatile and powerful than Pyro's. I mean, sure, it's ironic since you're Iceman, but really a more accurate name for you would be Heat Transfer Man.
Doesn't exactly
That's true.
roll off the tongue.
Okay, but he doesn't actually melt things. That's exactly my point. He's breaking the first law of thermodynamics.
What?
The first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred or transformed. It's just a fancy way of saying that energy can't magically appear or disappear. In equation form, it looks like this. Delta U.
Is it yo? This not even a video. It's a fucking physics lesson, bro. I'm learning physics. Supposed to be through an entertaining video. God damn it, Undead Humor. I'm already in like 2 minutes in, bro. Now I'm learning physics. Shit, what am I? I'm about to just take notes. God damn it. Give me a pen. Give me a goddamn pen. Shit.
equals Q minus W.
Not more math. What kind of place is this?
It's a school, Logan. We live in a school.
Yeah, you do.
Delta U means how much the energy inside something changes, like how hot or cold it gets. Q is the heat added to it, and W is the work it does, like moving something or pushing against pressure. Now, when Robert does his silly ice beams, he pulls heat out of the air, so Q is negative.
Okay.
He doesn't appear to do any work, so W is 0, which means the change in energy is just how much heat he pulls out. But then where does that energy go?
Well, can't he just do what fridges do? I mean, we know that makes sense.
Hey, Gene, quick question. Is your refrigerator running?
Well, yes, of course.
That's because it uses electricity. In a fridge, work is done by the motor and compressor. The electrical energy going in and the thermal energy coming out all add up and are conserved.
He's so mean today.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. I clearly freeze things.
And just how are you doing that?
Bro, this is a physics lesson in a video, bro. This is not even a video no more. This is like I'm learning right now. Shit, I mean, strap your fucking seatbelts. Shit, I guess we're learning about Iceman powers and how heat turns into how cold turns into heat and how shit freezes.
It's my mutant power, duh.
No, what physical mechanism are you using to cool objects? Because none of them make sense.
What are the options?
Well, there's conduction, which is heat transfer through direct contact, convection, which is through a fluid such as air or water, and radiation, which is heat transfer via electromagnetic waves, mostly infrared. That's how the sun warms us.
Professor, you sure said a lot of words there.
Oh, you really are my worst student. Fine, here's a picture to explain it better. This is an infrared image of a cat, showing different parts of it emitting heat.
Why do you have a picture of a cat?
I love me some pussy.
Gene, please scrub that sentence from my brain.
Anyway, the warmer areas are red, white, and yellow. The cooler areas are green and blue. And there are actually several heat mechanisms at play here. The face, eyes, and nose are mostly emitting heat via radiation. They appear hottest because there's no fur. The legs and paws are a mix of conduction and radiation.
Oh, okay. So this is where the heat resides at in the red because of the thermal energy. So the heat is mostly in the paws because of the active movement of the cat. Then right here in the tushy, like you see a little bit of heat signature, but it's not mostly active because that's just where the cat uses his joints to like do cat like shit with. And you see the tail and the stomach and the back is no heat. The face emits a lot of heat from it. I'm learning, Professor. I'm learning.
Paws are in direct contact with the ground, making conduction significant. The torso and back are well insulated. Any heat loss there is due to radiation, but it's heavily reduced.
Do you have one of a dog?
No, I don't bloody well have one of a dog.
Because I think I'd understand this better with a dog.
Which mechanism do you use, Bobby? Because conduction can't explain most of your attacks since its range is far too limited. Convection would require powerful cold air currents, which you clearly aren't doing. And if you used radiation, we'd see side effects, like you should literally be glowing.
What about evaporation? Sweating always keeps me cool.
Excellent point, Logan.
Summers, I'm smarter than you.
My honor! But evaporation removes heat via vapor, and he's freezing vapor instead, so it's actually the opposite effect.
You suck, Logan.
Damn you, science!
No, just use the water in the air.
Okay, that doesn't really answer my question, but let's move on to that. You know that air humidity is typically low, right?
Oh, there's enough water in it for me.
No, there really shouldn't be. 1 cubic meter of air only holds about
Shit, more
25
math.
grams of water
God
vapor.
damn it.
For a 100 kilogram ice bridge, you'd need 4,000 cubic meters of air. That's a cube of air which is over 15 meters on each side, which needs to be dehumidified instantly.
That doesn't sound like very much.
Oh, it is very much, Bobby. In low humidity regions such as deserts or the Arctic, it's impossible.
You mean he can't freeze the air in the Arctic? But it's already cold. It should be easier, right?
It's surprising, I know, but cold air holds far less water vapor than warm air. It'd mostly be freezing nitrogen and oxygen, which raises an entirely new problem.
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't really make sense how Bobby can target just water vapor, does it? Air is 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen. If he's emitting super cold blasts, why don't those gases condense as well?
You can't make ice from the oxygen, Professor. That's silly.
I'm not saying you'd make ice. I'm saying you should be liquefying the nitrogen and oxygen. Their freezing point is much lower than water's, hence why you'd likely liquefy them rather than freeze them.
What are you trying to say, Professor?
When Bobby freezes the air, you shouldn't be able to breathe. He should turn the oxygen from the atmosphere into a pool on the ground is to create fog, extreme pressure changes, oxygen-rich explosions.
Explosions?
Liquid oxygen is a powerful oxidizer, far more concentrated than its gas form. It can dramatically accelerate combustion. But don't worry, because you'll probably suffocate before that happens, since, you know, all the oxygen is literally in a pool on the ground.
I'm kind of getting the feeling you're not a fan of my powers, Professor.
It's not me who isn't the fan, it's the universe. You defy entropy.
You should know that I don't know what that means.
Okay, then let me ask you a question. If you hold...
I was expecting a breakdown of all the powers that he have, not a literal physics law about why his power doesn't make sense. But the title of the video is Iceman Powers Are Stupid. So, I wasn't prepared. I mean, I took notes. I put the book back. I think I took enough notes. My brain's starting to hurt. I feel like Bobby right now. Like, I swear if he would have had a picture of a dog, that I would have definitely understand it better.
A cup of hot coffee, do your hands get warmer?
You insult my honor with such a basic question, Professor.
Why is he talking about honor so much?
He must have went to Japan recently.
Logan, that was racially charged.
Nani? Of course your hands get warmer.
But why? The total energy between your hands and the cup wouldn't change. Whether your hands warms the coffee or the coffee warms your hands, energy is conserved either way.
Well, because heat moves from hot to cold. That's just what it does.
Exactly. But changes in energy clearly aren't responsible for that direction, so it must be set by another property. A property we call entropy.
I still don't know what entropy is. Also, why was Wolverine speaking Japanese?
Entropy is a measure of disorder and randomness. It tells us how energy spreads out. The entropy of a closed system remains constant, but for irreversible processes, it always increases. This is the second law of thermodynamics.
Irreversible processes? What do you mean?
Well, if I drop an egg onto the ground, for example, entropy has increased. The egg shatters, the shell cracks in a spiderweb of fractures. Yolk oozes out like delicious golden syrup.
He must really like eggs.
Yeah, I don't like how you said that.
Head shaped like one.
You'd be surprised if the shattered egg put itself together, wouldn't you? But it doesn't, since that would create order and thus decrease the entropy. That's why a change in entropy is sometimes called the arrow of time. There's no going backwards. It's an irreversible process.
And that explains why your hands get hot when holding coffee.
It does. The coffee is hot, so its molecules are moving fast in a disordered fashion. Your hands are cooler. The molecules...
Well, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that. So, when we hold a hot cup of coffee or tea, entropy is the reason why our hands get hot. I didn't know that. I really ain't know that, bro.
Are slower. It's much more ordered. If heat transfers from the coffee to your hands, then the total entropy between your hands and the cup will rise. Therefore, the process is allowed.
Okay, but what does this have to do with my powers?
Robert, when you freeze water, you turn disordered water molecules into a highly ordered ice crystal. There is a decrease in entropy, which is fine if that decrease is compensated by an even larger increase elsewhere, such as dumping heat into the air. But as we already know, you don't do that. You don't warm your surroundings when using your powers. You are therefore decreasing entropy without increasing it elsewhere, which violates the second law of thermodynamics.
I'm sick of your laws, all right? I'm just a kid making whimsical ice slides. Just leave me alone, okay?
Hey, Bobby, let's try to keep a cool head here.
Don't you dare use a damn ice pun against me.
Okay, fine. Go and make your ice slides, Bobby.
Why did you say it like that?
Oh, no reason.
You have something against my ice slides?
No, of course not.
What do you have against my ice slides?
Your ice slides should collapse under their own weight.
God damn it!
Thermal stress is directly proportional to temperature change. Your attacks often involve rapid cooling. Thermal stress is equal to the Young's modulus for ice times the coefficient of thermal expansion for ice times the temperature change in Kelvin. If you rapidly cool something from 0 degrees to minus 100, then there's 45 megapascals of internal stress due to thermal contraction. Ice's tensile strength is only 1 megapascal, so the stress exceeds what ice can handle by a factor of 45, meaning it should shatter immediately.
You're a jerk, Professor.
Your ice slides and bridges would crack before you even step on them.
These are my powers, all right?
Your ice sculptures are often unsupported. Hundreds of kilograms of ice can't just hang in midair.
You can't just tell me they shouldn't work.
Your bridges would need support every 1 to 2 meters to not snap under their own weight.
Do you want to just chip my dick off or something?
Also, you shouldn't be able to move that fast on ice. Newton's second law states that the acceleration of an object is directly proportional to the net force acting on it. But when you're on your slides, there is no force. The best you could do is maintain your momentum once moving.
Well, there's still some friction, right?
Yes, but the friction on ice is too low for him to push push himself off with. The only force that can help him is gravity, but for that, the slide would need to be sloped, and not all his slides are. Also, the drag force from the air would be much more than the maximal friction force he could generate on the ice.
You're full of shit, Professor!
Drag force equals 1/2 the drag coefficient times air density, area, and velocity squared.
You just had to make him whip out another equation.
If you're crouched, your cross-sectional area will be around 0.7 meters squared. Let's say your velocity is 20 meters per second, and the drag coefficient is 1. Air density is 1.2 kilograms per meters cubed at sea level, so the drag force will be equal to 168 newtons. Assuming you weigh 75 kilograms, then your deceleration is equal to 2.24 meters per second squared. At your starting speed of 20 meters per second, you'd come to a stop in under 9 seconds from just the air resistance.
I hate this school!
Also, that's an ideal case. In reality, the friction from the ice would slow you down as well.
I hate you!
Would you like me to calculate that?
Please, no.
I've heard enough.
No, please.
I'm leaving and never coming
Yes.
back.
Come on now, Bobby.
No.
It's not all bad. With
No.
your powers, you are easily an Omega-level mutant.
Yeah.
You're damn near the strongest X-Man there is.
Yes.
Really?
Of course,
Yeah.
your powers make you a planetary weapon. The oceans moderate Earth's temperature as water has a high specific heat capacity. That's just a fancy way of saying it takes a lot of energy to raise water's temperature. Oceans store most of Earth's heat. So do you know what would happen if you froze a
No,
large portion of
don't
it?
fall for it, Bobby.
No, my
Oh
silly
my God,
Bobby,
you
you
fell
would
for
trigger
it.
another ice age. If you just froze
Oh, you
1% of the
fucking
global
fell for it,
ocean
Bobby.
volume, you'd remove hundreds of thousands times more energy than all nuclear bombs ever detonated. You'd cause pressure changes in seabeds, tsunamis from ice shelf collapses, glacial earthquakes from thermal shifts.
Hey, that's kind of chill.
Indeed it is, and excellent pun, if I dare say so.
Thanks, Professor.
But, unfortunately, you'd be dead. What? Your own body should be dead, Bobby. Completely,
Kill that momentum.
irreversibly dead. In your ice form, your body is frozen. At freezing temperatures, your enzymes stop functioning entirely. Your metabolism grinds to a halt. Blood turns to sludge, then crystallizes, shredding your vessels from the inside out.
We're
Your
getting
nerves
dark.
fall silent. Your muscles lock, paralyzed. Your lungs stop absorbing oxygen. Skin cells die in minutes, blacken and peel. And you don't even feel it. You're not a person. You're a sculpture, cold, hollow. Whatever's moving inside that shell, it isn't life.
Oh my God, get me out of here!
Well, there goes another one.
What should we do with the body, Professor?
Throw it in the freezer along with the rest of them.
That's what he would have wanted. Say, Professor, since when did you know all that thermodynamics stuff?
I don't. I was just reading Beast's mind while explaining all that. Why else do you think I keep him around?
Oh, that's funny. That's fucking funny.
Oh, geez, Professor, I guess you could say you're pretty cool.
No more ice puns, Logan.
Dear God.
No more ice puns.
That's funny. So, Thor powers are stupid. Oh shit! Please, no. I don't think I have time for any more math. And who's explaining this one? Tony? Is Charles explaining this? Yeah, I think Tony's gonna explain this one. But yeah. So he sent Bobby into a comatose state, and it got really dark, and we learned a lot about physics and laws of motion. And I have a headache right now, but you learn something new every day. And I thought he was going to explain Bobby's powers. He explained how Bobby powers should work realistically. I have a headache. I learned so much. I wasn't expecting to go to school today. Anyway, this is my man's Undead humor, and this was truly undead. The humor in this was truly undead. I learned more than anything. But I don't hate it. I love it. Anyway, this has been Vass Reacts. Like, comment, subscribe. There's a link to the video down in the description below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.